Ah, a new air freshener?
Careful!
Oh, not again.
Oh,
He was in shot.
the rare Layton hold it. One moment, please, Miss Kara. And she just like phases back into existence. Is there something else you wanted? You don't seem to realize what you just let slip. What are you talking about? This man testified that he heard his name called at the crime scene. However, you had no knowledge of his name at the time, is that correct? That's right, this weirdo is just imagining things. Like I said, I've already forgotten his name, even though he told it to us earlier. There's just one problem, Miss Kira. Namely, what the voice he heard tonight was actually saying. Huh?
What do you mean? That's obvious. It was a name, wasn't it? Now, what was that name again?
My lord, I'm still here, you know. You're saying that what this man heard tonight wasn't a name, but rather something else entirely. Indeed I am, Inquisitor Barnum.
Something else. Huh. There's only one other thing it could be. It's a stretch, but the possibility is there.
That's right, Mr. Wright. That single possibility is the key to solving this mystery.
Is the defense ready to present its evidence to the court?
Yeah, this is ridiculous. I demand you let me go this instant. Witness, what you are being accused of is not to be taken lightly. You will not leave this courtroom as long as any reasonable doubt remains.
Thank you, Barnum.
Yeah, he's pretty, unbiased.
Defender, you may present your evidence. Show the court what the voice this man heard tonight was really saying. Now we do it.
Yeah.
Excuse me, mister. I'm sorry. What's your name again? You've got a name that no one seems to be able to remember for some reason.
Hey, it's Amir. My name's Amir, darn it. How many times I gotta say it? No matter the number of times you say it, you do not look like an Amir. Again, I only remember my most loyal customers' names, and he doesn't look like he could afford even a single daisy. Oh, wow. We are taking apart this man's life. Come on, guys. Stop kicking a guy when he's down.
Leave me alone. Mr. Amir, what you heard tonight at the crime scene was not your name. Your name just so happens to sound exactly like a certain other name.
Another name?
The answer is right here in this tome. I'm talking about Amir. Amir? What he actually heard at the time wasn't his own name. It was the name of a magical incantation.
What the?
Miss Kira, have you forgotten what you said just a few minutes ago? You quite clearly stated that you didn't know this man's name.
Objection!
Sir Blue Knight, let me get this straight. You're saying that Amir, heard by the witness, was actually said by this flower girl, and that it was not his name at all, but rather the incantation of a magic spell.
The defense proposes the following. The true criminal, the supposed witch, is not the defendant, Mrs. Cantabella, but instead the witness who was heard uttering magic incantation. Miss Kira, she's our witch. You used magic to vanish from the scene and tried to frame Miss Cantabella instead.
No!
Whoa, what just happened?
Is Isabella really not a witch?
Unbelievable. I've never heard of anything like this.
Inquisitor Barnum!
I'm here too, Edgeworth. Have those two really defeated Inquisitor Barnum?
Yeah, Larry and Edgeworth are here on vacation. Why does Barnum's hairstyle remind me of Larry's?
Kinda does, yeah. He's like Kaito's.
An impressive display, Sir Blue Knight. It would seem you have finally managed to hone your blade. However, I believe that blade's edge is already beginning to dull.
What do you mean?
I'm referring to a contradiction, naturally.
Hey, that's my line.
My lord, the Inquisition would like to set the record straight regarding what had transpired this evening.
Very well, Inquisitor Barnum.
Sir Blue Knight, you claim the following. At the time of the crime, the accused, Isabella Cantabella, was surrounded by the two rogues. Oh, she looks cute with her glasses.
Little glasses.
Then, in order to frame the accused as a witch, Miss Kira cast the spell Demir and made herself vanish. She then moved in closer to the victims, at which point she cast Ignace, thus causing the incident seen by our witnesses tonight.
Indeed, that does seem to be the claim.
The problem is what happened next. There is a contradiction in the defense's account of Miss Kira's movements.
Contradiction? In her movements?
Allow me to continue. The witnesses have stated that they each ventured out toward the crime scene. Which is when Miss Kira, the witch, made her way to this point while still invisible. When she arrived at said spot, she then cast a mirror and reappeared to join the other witnesses. And there you have it. That is accurate, isn't it, Sir Blue Knight?
That's correct. Then Mr. Amir heard her call his name.
Well then, I have but one question that I would like you to answer. Why would a witch need to do such a thing?
What do you mean?
Supposing Miss Kira were a witch, surely she would not have made the conscious decision to reappear when she did. One would imagine she would remain hidden and flee the crime scene.
Quite right. That's what I would do if I were a wish.
Given that point, there would be no viable reason for her to recite the incantation. In other words, it is inconceivable that this flower seller, Miss Kira, could be a witch.
What?
I wouldn't go quite that far.
What just happened?
Is that girl, is Kira really not a witch?
Inquisitor Barnum just turned this entire trial right around.
Just what I'd expect from Labyrinthia's Sword of Justice.
That's right! You all heard it! It's just as Inquisitor Barnum said! Me, a witch! The idea is laughable!
He's like, oh shit, she did
Oh
it.
no, dude. Well, I gotta commit now. Not good. She's completely bounced back onto her feet.
Oh, we were so close, too.
I can't believe Inquisitor Barnum. Can't he see it? You just have to take one good look at her. It's obvious she's the real witch here.
Remember, Mr. Wright, at times like this, a cool head will prevail.
Mr. Layton.
I'm sure you've had to fight your way out of circumstances such as these many times before. This situation is no different. As a defense attorney, what would you usually do at such a time?
What I usually do? Of course. There's only one
Bluff.
thing that can get me out of a situation like this. I've
Lying
got to
my
flip
ass
this
off.
case on its head and think outside the box.
It would seem the defense has nothing further to add.
Why, of course. That's because everyone knows the truth. They know that girl right there is the real witch. That settles it then. Go ahead and deliver your verdict, my lord.
Objection!
Who was that? The situation is exactly as you described, Inquisitor Barnum. It really doesn't make much sense for the witch to have used a mirror. Regardless,
So she-
the defense
wait.
still maintains that Miss Kira did utter that incantation and make herself reappear.
So she could be part of the case. So she could direct the case. That's
Now-
why she would do it.
Now the question is, for what reason? If she really didn't have to use that spell, then why use it in the first place? If I can find the answer to that question, then this entire case will start to unravel.
Maybe she tripped and dropped her glasses and she had to use the spell so she could see them again? That's my guess. She had her glasses on because she has her glasses on in her portrait.
Mm-hmm.
Most fascinating. Very well. Allow us to hear this theory of yours. Tell the court why it was necessary for the witch to appear at the crime scene.
Well, still in the game. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The reason Miss Kira reappeared at the scene of the crime was...
How many times have they spat out that Sherlock Holmes line?
too many. I can't think of any other possibility. This has to be the answer. Isn't it obvious? She was trying to cover up her own crime.
Oh, is that right? Well, it makes no sense to give herself an alibi because no one knew she was there until she appeared, so
Yeah.
she wouldn't need an alibi. Tell me, why would she do that?
Well, just give me a minute. I'm getting to that part.
That will not be necessary, Sir Blue Knight.
Huh?
Think about it. What would she have to hide if no one could have seen her to begin with? You heard the good Inquisitor. No matter how you look at it, there'd be no reason for me to reappear, assuming I was the criminal, that is.
I can't argue with that.
Objection!
Oh, we did get it right. They bamboozled us
Yeah.
again with Layton. Pardon the interruption, but that's not necessarily the case.
Mr. Layton.
Explain yourself, Sir Top Hat. You have stated that Miss Kira had no reason to reappear. However, the situation changed, and it became necessary for her to show herself. Isn't that right, Miss Kira? Huh? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean.
It would seem the defense must clarify their argument with evidence.
Mr. Wright, I believe that Miss Kira did not intend to reveal herself at the crime scene. Rather, that something occurred which forced this young lady to make herself reappear.
What was so important that she had to reappear and risk being spotted?
Defender, tell the court why it would have been necessary for the witch to appear at the crime scene.
Her glasses?
You want to present the glasses?
I think so.
Take that!
Miss Kira usually wear glasses, is that correct?
Huh? It's like I already told you. I lost my glasses a few days ago.
Are you absolutely sure about that? Or did you not, in fact, lose them tonight, during the crime?
Of course not. Perhaps you accidentally dropped them while you were committing the crime. Then, as you were attempting to make your escape, you noticed they were gone. Therefore, you made yourself reappear in order to search for your missing glasses. Looks like I was right on the nose.
There you go.
Objection!
How absurd, such baseless conjecture.
I pulled something!
What you propose is fundamentally flawed. What do you mean? Ah, shit, I don't know.
Fuck, I didn't think I'd get this far.
Well, let us assume, hypothetically, that the witch did in fact drop this evidence. That does not explain what purpose it would serve for her to make herself reappear. It would still make more sense for her to escape under cover of darkness.
Objection!
No.
It says in the player's handbook that the invisibility spell also makes whatever they're holding turn invisible. Unfortunately, Inquisitor Barnum, such a plan is simply not possible. What? Mr. Wright, do you understand what I'm suggesting?
Yes. He means the reason Miss Kira made herself reappear at the crime scene. Okay, this is it.
Defender, enlighten us! Why did the witness feel the need to make herself reappear?
She couldn't...
She couldn't find her glasses. Because they were invisible.
The answer is simple, Your Honor. She couldn't find her glasses.
She could not find them.
If you've noticed, she's still not wearing her glasses right now.
Objection!
Hold on a moment, Sir Blue Knight. What does that have to do with anything? That's right. It doesn't change a single thing.
No. That's where you're wrong. In fact, it changes things quite a bit.
We're not saying that she did not find her glasses. We're saying that it was impossible for her to have found her glasses.
Tonight, the two victims were engulfed by flames, courtesy of a magic spell. That very instant, 4 witnesses saw the flames erupt at the scene. It was at that point that something you didn't expect occurred. You suddenly lost your glasses. That's right. You were scared that if your glasses were discovered at the scene of the crime, you would be suspected of being a witch.
Objection!
What foolishness, even if her glasses were found. She could simply have explained that she dropped them there days before the crime happened.
Objection!
Hello, Geostrea. Is that how you pronounce it? It's good to see you. We're playing Layton versus Wright, having a good time. Hope you stick around.
Heidi ho, stranger. I'm afraid that is not a possibility, Inquisitor Barnum. What did you say? I like the zoom in, the close up.
Yeah.
If you recall, it had been raining quite heavily at the crime scene beforehand. This is the 4th time the mud is relevant. Had she stated that she dropped her glasses before the crime, then naturally, one would expect that the glasses to be soaked in water and covered in mud. However, the rain had already stopped at the time the crime itself was committed. In other words, one look at the pair of clean, dry glasses would reveal she had dropped them later, thus implicating her as the witch. No!
I should have known! I was perfecting my rainfall rending technique in the forest. That's not foresight. And not once during the rainfall did I see that flower maiden traveling along the nearby path. That's not all. In order to frame Miss Cantabella as the witch, you need to leave this witch's scepter behind at the scene of the crime.
I see. That would be the most definitive evidence that she's the witch.
The objective here was to have somebody else discover the staff at the scene.
Alas, that person was I. However, no doubt you came to realize that one can deduce which spells were used simply by examining the magic gems on this scepter. In this case, one can see that the witch must have used Demir to vanish from sight and make her escape.
That's why, Miss Kira, you were left with no other option but to reappear at the crime scene. That was the only way for you to avoid suspicion. If someone were to discover your glasses at this crime scene, by reappearing, you'd be able to explain that you simply dropped your glasses when you rushed to see what had happened.
What?
What do you have to say to that, Miss Kira?
Layton's mouth didn't move, so I didn't do it.
You know,
Oh no.
I've let you both ramble on and on, but playtime is over.
Alright,
So?
Sonic.
So
Playtime's
that's
over.
it, then? I'm a witch because I dropped my glasses? I must have said it how many times now? I lost my glasses days ago. Were you even listening? I'll say it again. Over 1,000,000 times! I lost my glasses, I lost my glasses! Do you like evidence, Sir Defender? Do you love proof, Sir Top Hat? Then prove I dropped my glasses at the crime scene. Ha, you can't prove it! In other words, you lose.
Holy shit.
That is correct. Proving such a thing would indeed be impossible. To prove that the witness dropped her glasses at the crime scene. What say you, Inquisitor Barnum?
But, like, what I don't get about the Ace Attorney court system is, like, we have, like, 8 different reasons that Espella couldn't have done it, but because there's one reason that this girl couldn't have done it, we just execute Espella. Like, why doesn't it just go like,
Yeah.
so everyone agrees that she's the witch, right? And then it's just like, yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
'Tis indeed a question of proof, my lord. These glasses have been missing from the very beginning. The Knights of the Inquisition found no trace of these glasses anywhere near the crime scene. Therefore, this witness cannot in any way be accused of being a witch. You heard the man.
Little fuck, that's the most smug.
But we were so close.
That girl's a witch! Can anyone else see that? What should we do, Professor?
Maya serves like no purpose in this game. She's just here because they knew people would riot if she wasn't.
True.
Well, it would seem the young lady has finished what she had to say. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, certainly looks that way, Mr. Layton.
What's with that face? Do you find something funny here? It is as you said, Inquisitor Barnum. Explain. You're saying I'm right. Something must be wrong.
Oh god, the theme music is on.
The defense raises one further question. Why were you unable to find those glasses? What do you mean?
You must have searched the area quite thoroughly, looking for them. And yet, even now, the Knights have been unable to locate those glasses. Did you ever wonder why?
So it's become quite the mystery. Surely they must be around there somewhere.
The glasses were lost to the wolves. That is the only explanation. The wolves. There's a wolf out there with glasses on.
Get him!
There's still one remaining place that you have not searched tonight. Huh? What did you say?
The glasses were supposedly not found at the crime scene, leaving only one other possible place.
What is this? You two? How about you, Sir Blue Knight? Draw your blade and reveal to the court where the glasses are supposedly hiding.
Looks like I've somehow managed to make it through this trial. It all comes down to this, the final piece of evidence. Time to clear up this case once and for all.
I leave the rest in your capable hands, Mr. Wright.
The piece of evidence pointing to the one place not searched tonight is...
I think... Is it the spell book?
in the spell book? What about the spell book?
It causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Simply chant a mirror to make it reappear.
So if that were the case, it would have reappeared.
Yeah.
Why wasn't, you gotta think along the lines, why wasn't it found at the crime scene if she dropped it?
Because it was in the milk bucket?
You want to present the milk bucket?
I think so.
Take that!
Because the milk bucket was the only thing that was taken away from the crime scene after the crime occurred.
Tonight, there was one thing that was carried away from the crime scene right under everyone's noses.
Carried away?
I'm speaking, of course, about this.
I mean, she was right there. They fell in the milk.
Lost in the sauce.
That's the milk bucket that disappeared from the crime scene. Thus far, the defense's claim that the glasses were dropped at the crime scene has been regarded as mere speculation. However, if Miss Kira, we find your glasses within the contents of this milk bucket, then our mere speculation will suddenly become fact. Oh, what manner of witchery? What are you talking about? You're crazy, just crazy. No way my glasses could be inside that stupid bucket. That's just impossible.
How about we quit with the speculation and actually find out? What do you say, Inquisitor Barnum?
That'll just waste the court's time. Don't listen to them. Don't. 'Tis mandated that the Knights of the Inquisition investigate any and all possibilities during the course of a trial. Oh, like a true paladin, he's just following his oath. That's why he's exploring all options, because he vowed to do so. My lord, the Inquisition requests that this milk bucket be searched immediately.
Very well. Creepy.
He just glugs it all down.
He chug-jugs
Oh.
it.
What?
Miss Kira, as you can see, your glasses have been found inside the milk bucket. The truth is out. Nothing you say can change that now.
Which leads us to the next question. How would you like to die?
Crispy or well done?
Specifically, a question of when. When did you drop your glasses into the milk bucket? Oh, what? Well, why is this happening? This whole thing is ridiculous. The answer is obvious, isn't it? I dropped them afterwards, after I ran over to see the fire. I took a tiny peek inside that milk bucket, that's when they fell in.
Objection!
Don't be stupid, child. Snowy and I were at the scene first. We made sure to take that milk bucket before anyone else could get their grubby little hands on it. We weren't going to let a single soul get anywhere near that sweet creamy bucket of deliciousness. You can bet my farm on that.
Each of these four witnesses has stated they heard the spell Ignace being cast at the time of the incident. According to the Grand Grimoire, Ignace summons a circle of fire within 1 meter radius of the caster. In other words, the real witch must have been at Miss Cantabella's side at the time of the incident.
Indeed. That is when the glasses fell into the milk bucket. Therefore, there's only one logical conclusion. Only one person who could be the true witch.
Miss Kira, you are the real witch.
Oh,
Fucking out.
she dropped like a bag of bricks. How much does that basket weigh? Oh,
What a very strange trial this has been.
well, burn her.
From the very beginning, we have all paid witness to the most unusual set of circumstances. A baker turned defender, a surprise extra witness, and now a not guilty verdict for the accused. Never have I seen such a spectacle.
Well, be prepared to see it 4 more times, Your Honor.
Is this really happening?
The girl inside the cage, you mean she's the real witch?
But what about that Espella Cantabella girl? That's only a 4 trial
Miss
game.
Kira,
Or 4 case game.
tell us
Slap.
why. Why were you trying to frame Miss Cantabella?
You could easily have escaped the crime scene without a trace. There was no reason to frame anyone. This crime was a result of nothing but your overwhelming ill intent.
To frame a person as a witch is to condemn that person to death by fire. Surely you must know this. So why,
Considering your
Espella
position, I'm
Cantabella?
sure you're very conscious of it.
Do you have any idea what it feels like to be a witch?
What it feels like?
I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for these powers, but I have them. And now here I am, begging for my life. I was living such a peaceful life until now. Selling flowers, getting scolded by my boss for not selling enough of them. That's why I was trying to put an end to these trials once and for all.
Put an end to the trials.
You all know what I mean! The one condition written in the story that will end these witch trials!
When the great witch Bezella has been put to the flames and vanquished from this world, these trials will come to an end.
This was my chance to finally end all this. At least that's what I thought. The sun had begun to set on that lonely forest path, and there wasn't a soul in sight. I always carried my hidden Telea Magica with
Except
me
there
in
were, like,
case of a
7.
moment like this. I used my magic to expose that girl for what she really is. If I had been successful, then all these trials would finally end, and I could go on living my peaceful life.
What? What are you saying? Am I hearing this correctly?
Voice judge, I never thought that would happen.
Espella Cantabella?
Why do you think no one has ever seen the legendary Great Witch? It's because she's been hidden in our midst the entire time. She's protected. She's hidden from us. It's all part of the story.
Part of the story?
Objection! That's enough! Speak no more. A witch's existence cannot be justified.
No, please. I know you've all noticed it too. You could end this. All of this. That girl. It's all because of that girl. I beg you. Please. Please release me. Knights of the court. Isn't it your duty to protect the people of this town? Give me another chance.
That is where you're wrong. Tis indeed a knight's duty to protect. We are impelled to protect the citizens of Labyrinthia against you and your ilk. The reason you were offered my protection until now was because your guilt was uncertain. There was the possibility that you were not a witch. The circumstances were such that it seemed another was guilty. That possibility has since disappeared, and your innocence along with it. You now find yourself at the other end of my sword.
Barnum until proven guilty.
Vile witch, enemy of Labyrinthia, may the fires purge you from this land.
Hold it! Please, wait! Stop! Please, just stop this!
Espella!
If it means putting an end to these horrible trials, let Let me take her place. Let me be Bezella. Send me to the flames. But please, if it would save her life.
This trial has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that this flower seller, Kira, is a witch. And according to the law, all those found to be witches will be executed.
Whoa!
Did he say executed? He can't mean.
This is most
I mean, what did
unsettling.
you think the cage suspended over a fire pit was?
No! No! Don't do this!
Listen to me! Don't let her fool you! Isabella is the Great Witch! Hear me! There's no time to waste! She's Bezella! Take her! And then these witch trials will be no more! The witch trials will end!
Got another one, Barnum.
W. Win or lose, he always wins. So far, we've always managed to pull off a win, get a not guilty verdict. But,
I mean, we got a bunch of people executed, but we didn't have to watch it happen.
winning has never felt this depressing. Oh, Speller, you alright?
Yes, I just wanted to thank you all. You came to my rescue yet again.
Well, yeah, of course we did.
Hold on a sec, Bella. What did you say just now? Oh, Maya still hasn't remembered. You all came to my rescue yet again. You don't mean...
Yes, I remember everything. I remember the last trial. I suppose that makes this the second time we've met, and the second time all of you have helped me.
Bruh.
That's a bruh moment, Luke. Mr. Wright, am I to infer that you and Isabella have met before?
Yeah, seems that way. You too, Mr. Layton?
Perhaps it would be best if we briefed each other on what has transpired.
You did what with that fish lady?
A gentleman never kisses and tells, Mr. Wright.
What the fuck? Okay, what should we discuss?
Can we just skip past all this exposition? Please,
No, we need to talk.
We already played through chapter 1. We know why we know Isabella.
But we have to talk about Car Accidente.
That is true. He is the purest boy in all the game.
You both kept me safe from the witches that were chasing me.
Wait, did you say witches? Witches exist?
Witches in London? The sequel to People in Paris? Almost said it.
Individuals in Paris?
A certain ethnicity group in Paris?
So they appeared in London too? Individuals in Labyrinthia.
Don't flip that.
Regrettably, I am unable to say that our protection was absolute. In fact, we are just a spinely, intelligent man and a young child. So I would say that our protection cannot even be called that.
We did what we could, I suppose.
When we saw you last, it seemed you'd managed to escape courtesy of that passing freighter.
Oh yeah, that's right. What happened to you after that, Miss Bella?
I almost got fucking cogged by, some random
dente.
cook lady.
Some hot cook lady.
She was hot, yes. I think that was just the constantly gyrating hips, though.
No, she was just attractive.
That's when I met Mr. Wright and Maya.
Oh, just what happened in London again? I wasn't listening.
I didn't know where the ship would end up. I felt very lonely out there.
Pretty convenient that there's a recap of chapter 1.
Yeah.
Who was in Paris? That's a good question. I don't know, actually. Please accept my sincerest. I have a puzzle for you. Who was in Paris?
No, Mr. Layton, please.
Please accept my sincerest apologies. I'm afraid there was nothing else I could do to prevent it.
No, please don't blame yourself, Mr. Layton.
That's a power move. Like, making an album, like naming an album something that the majority of the global population is not allowed to say.
I just didn't know what to do, so I tried to look for something, anything on the ship that might help me.
Boy, you sure found something, all right. Or rather, someone. You ran into a master thief working as part of the ship's crew.
Yes, that's right.
And Johnny smiles.
Johnny smiles.
Did you say master thief? Crikey, that's amazing.
I wouldn't exactly say it was amazing.
I wouldn't call her a master thief either. She did get caught.
She was just the transportation.
After that, I was taken to court, and that's when Mr. Wright helped me.
I see, then perhaps. Somewhere deep within your mind must have existed a memory of that previous trial and of Mr. Wright. Hence why you thought to seek out his help when you found yourself in such an unfortunate situation this evening. That makes sense. After all, Nick did make legal history that day in jolly old England.
Did you say he made history? Wow, that's incredible, right, Professor?
I wouldn't exactly say I made history.
But then after that, I was never able to find my way back to the Professor. Even after I went through the pains of finding that clue, I ended up being taken away from me.
A clue, you say?
That's not me.
Yes, the tag that was hanging around the neck of that sweet little stuffed toy.
That tag was a clue? A clue for what? Okay, what should we discuss?
I'm as lost as you are.
I had a lot of time to think while I was on that ship. I thought about a lot of things. Like how to try and find a way back once the ship arrived at its destination. Things like that.
Find a way back.
A way back to Mr. Layton and Luke. They were the ones I knew I could depend on to help me.
The pleasure was ours, Isabella.
Even if we fucked it up?
But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't remember the name of the town where they lived. Huh? You mean London, Isabella? Oh, that's it, London. That was what was written in Carmine's letter to Mr. Layton. The blue teddy bear I found in that room was wearing a tag around its neck.
Sorry, Isabella, but PC Badger looks nothing like a teddy bear.
On the tag, in very small letters, was written London. I recognized the name of the town. I thought it might be an address.
That's because that stuffed toy was used in a special promotion run by the London Metropolitan Police.
Ah, yes, the limp.
The limp.
Oh, that's right. Espella, you must have known that address is super important, so that's why you kept the tag, right? That way you could meet up with Mr. Layton and Luke again?
An address to London. I'm here.
Yes, I found their house. London.
Really big.
I just felt so lonely and helpless.
Relatable.
Based.
I wonder, though, who do you think really did it? Hit Olivia over the head with a pipe, I mean. What's this? What the hell are we talking about now?
Oh, yeah, I guess we never did find out who the real culprit was.
I do believe that may have some connection to the group of witches.
What, you mean the witches that were chasing us through London?
Indeed, it could be that they noticed you escaped onto that ship and managed to infiltrate their own way aboard.
Could it be?
It was Starclaw, right?
Maybe.
So, you're saying there was some big, scary witch lurking around the inside of that cargo hold? I can't speak. I'm afraid there's a rather high possibility that was the case. Those witches were intent on seeing you brought back to Labyrinthia no matter what. However, in order to do so, they had to make certain you did not become entangled in any situation that may stall your capture.
Ah, in other words, the situation with Miss Al Dente, you mean? I don't know who that is, but sure.
Precisely. They must have knocked that crew member unconscious and attempted to recapture Espella before the police could arrive. However, their plan was clearly foiled, given that you not ended up in court regardless.
Johnny smiles.
Him!
And that's when she became my client.
I just can't clearly remember anything that happened back then.
Why didn't she just bonk him too?
He's too powerful.
Yeah, his head's too hard, it just bounced off.
Do you think there's a possibility that someone was pulling Espella's strings through the entire trial?
Hey, maybe you're right. There was something a little strange about her. Mr. Wright? Espella was introduced to you at the time as a schoolgirl, is that correct?
What is that noise?
Oh.
Yes. I don't know why I hear there's just something in your fucking mouth. You have like a rapper with you.
She would have no knowledge of the world outside of Labyrinthia. That being the case, having her stand in an English courtroom as she was would pose a serious problem. Meaning that someone must have been attempting to cover up Espella's identity.
What, but, Professor, could someone really do that?
Maybe if they posed as some sort of authority figure in the school that she came from.
Who can say?
That they could indeed, Luke. And if it is as I suspect, I believe our adversaries may be far more powerful than we originally thought.
Just exactly who or what are we dealing with here?
Witches!
Witches be crazy.
God, how long is this post-case exposition gonna last? Hey guys, let's head back to the bakery for now. I bet the boss is waiting for us with one heck of a pastry feast.
Oh, actually, I can't go home just yet.
She doesn't have the goat's milk.
Huh? You can't? Aw.
The goat milk was taken.
Well, there's still a couple of legal procedures to be taken care of before I can go home. Please, you all go on ahead without me.
Is that so? Very well.
I really must thank you all. Thank you so much for everything.
Alrighty then, Espella. We'll catch you later.
Yes. Farewell for now.
Rat.
Uh-oh. Front-facing Layton is spooky.
Take off your pants, Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright, please allow me the pleasure of a proper introduction. My name is Herschel Layton. I'm a professor of archaeology in London.
A professor, huh? Well, my name's Phoenix Wright. I'm an attorney.
As I suspected, you are no ordinary baker after all, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, thought it was pretty weird myself, to be honest. I mean, I really did believe I'd been a baker all my life. The more everybody kept saying it, the less sure I was that it was actually true. Just, where did that memory come from, anyway?
Hey, Professor, if Mr. Wright is an attorney, that must mean he's as smart as you, right?
Not at all, Luke. I'm afraid I can't really say, Luke. But... behind every ace attorney, there's an even smarter, not to mention beautiful, witty, and utterly amazing ace assistant.
I think you also forgot humble.
My name's Luke Triton. I'm the professor's apprentice.
I'm Maya Fey. And Nick here is my apprentice. Isn't that right, Nicky boy? That's a joke from the first game.
Nicky boy? Hey, wait, why am I your apprentice?
She said that a couple times in the first game, didn't she?
Nicky boy?
No, but he was her apprentice.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, we should all head back to the bakery. Let's get a move on.
I'm sure Espella will be back before we know it.
I would not get your hopes up about that, Sir Blue Knight. Front-facing Barnum is
God.
even worse.
He's hot. Inquisitor Barnum.
He is just handsome Squidward. Most impressive work tonight. 'Tis a shame you've kept such an ability hidden until now. Trust me, Nick's lawyer abilities beat the pants off his baking abilities any day of the week. I don't know anything about beating a man's pants off, but alright.
Is that part of your training? Okay, moving on. What do you mean by that, Inquisitor? Why can't Estella go home?
What, beating a man off? New charges have been brought against Mrs. Spella Cantabella.
What? No way. That can't be right.
She's a double witch this time. You have realized it, haven't you? She's been charged under suspicion of being the Great Witch Bezella.
She what?
How can that be? Am I to assume that charge is based purely on Miss Kira's accusation? It was not I who made the decision, so he opposes it too.
Huh?
Regardless, the girl will return to the court at the appointed time for further trial. Until then, I am to seek out any and all evidence pertaining to the Great Witch. Pardon me, Inquisitor. When exactly is this appointed time? The investigation into this allegation will conclude on the day of the storyteller's next parade. That would be 2 weeks from today. Following our investigations into the matter, the trial of the Great Witch shall proceed.
What the?
It would appear the girl has been withholding a dark secret from you all.
Espella.
Espella Cantabella's questioning is set to begin shortly. That means visiting hours are over. I recommend you leave immediately.
Espella, the legendary Great Witch Bezella.
The story that dictates the fate of an entire town and no so-called Great Witch named Bezella. Most intriguing. It would seem to be up to us to uncover the answers to these mysteries.
But how are we supposed to manage it all in 2 weeks? Where are we gonna find any evidence? Phoenix, you've had less time than 2 weeks.
You know, I was thinking, how do you address a Great Witch? Hail to thee, O magnificent magical one, or just, what's up, witchy baby?
What difference would it make? She's called a Great Witch. That's not someone I'd ever want to meet.
I believe I've thought of a solution to our problem. It's actually quite simple. We just call her the Great Witch.
We just get the fuck out of here. Professor Layton.
Allow me to explain, Mr. Wright. This isn't our problem, so if we find a way to leave...
We should.
The only way we may be able to solve the mysteries of this town and its residents is if we join forces. We've already done that for an entire case.
He's right. We've come this far. There's no way we're just going to give up on Espella. Okay, I'm on board. I look forward to teaming up with you, Professor.
Me too, Luke.
Me too, Maya.
Now then, shall we press on? This marks the beginning of our own story. One dictated by ourselves and written by our own hands.
There we go.
Alright.
What'd you think of that trial?
I thought that was one of the wackier trials that Ace Attorney has ever had, and that's saying a lot.
Do the Mario swing your arms from side to side. Come on, let's go. Let's try to do the Mario. Mario, oh, I got it now. You got it. It's the Mario. Do the Mario swing your arms from side to side. Come on, let's